Yeah, you can get started.
Go ahead.
You want me to start?
Yes. You can get started.
Okay. Namaste, everyone. Good morning to all our viewers in United States and good evening to everybody in India. We welcome you to this workshop on prevention and management of diabetes, hosted by American Academy of Yoga and Meditation. For our new viewers who are joining us for the first time, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to the American Academy of Yoga and Meditation. AAYM is a non-profit organization which is dedicated to education and research in the field of yoga and meditation and promoting and spreading the philosophies of holistic healing. Through this webinar series, we hope to spread the amazing benefits that yoga has to people around the world. The role of lifestyle factors such as food, lack of physical activity, physiological stress is very well proven in the pathophysiology of type 2 diabetes. Also, until recently, diabetes was considered a lifelong disease. Recent work by Roy Taylor and group has demonstrated the role of lifestyle in reversing type 2 diabetes. They found that intensive dietary modifications with weight loss could reverse the changes in type 2 diabetes. This inspired us to design a yoga-based lifestyle program for type 2 diabetes, management and reversal, which is application of yoga-based discipline through dietary modification, stress management, encouragement to increase physical activity, guided yogasana, pranayama practices, and therapy and support. I take this opportunity to introduce to Dr. Avinash Sahuji. Dr. Sahuji, born and brought up in a lower middle class family from small village. He had a very bright academic career. He got his MBBS in November 1982. And since then, he has decided what not to do in his life. He resolved not to exchange his life for the sake of currency, work for the big organization. He has worked as a full-timer in the social field since then. In his last 40 years of career, he's preaching the masses on how to keep the doctor away by adopting a healthy lifestyle. He's also a practitioner of what he used to preach. Initially, he lived and worked for 23 years for the rural and tribal people who suffered due to scarcity of financial and other resources. In 2000, he started working for the urban population who suffer from lifestyle illnesses due to the surplus of money, luxury, etc. He is one of the pioneers of adopting the Dr. Dean Ornish program for reversing heart blockage with lifestyle modification in India, delivered more than 1,200 lectures and conducted 200 plus workshops on this subject. To healthy habits since childhood, he had visited over 5,000 schools and colleges, interacted with 800,000 students and teachers. He is a very good communicator and influential trainer, conducted many workshops for all age groups in basic life skills like communication skills, personality development, time and resource management, family relationship, and harmony. For youths, for parents, for teachers, professionals, I think everyone. He started Prayash, a non-profit organization in 1994. The main objective of Prayash is to help others in finding out their why of living. Prayas organizes Sanskar camps for children, Seva Ankur, motivational camps for youths, parenting workshops, holistic health camps, etc. Dr. Sauji has been in touch and acting as a mentor with thousands of children, youths, and adults, and helped them in finding out their agenda of life. Recently, Dr. Sauji started a very successful online diabetes reversal and wellness program. Diabetes reversal became possible through proper lifestyle changes under the expert guidance, personal counseling, and regular follow-up via group therapy in this program. This is a self-help group activity under his leadership with the team of doctors, yoga and healthy lifestyle trainers. They want to help people via this initiative with no commercial motive. The program was offered in online mode with 8 to 10 weekly interactive sessions of theory and follow-up with miraculous results. The inclusion to the program is open-ended by obtaining an informed consent. So far, they have trained around 500 participants with wonderful results in 23 batches since April 2020, 18 Indian and 5 US. Next, US batch is going to start from 19th and Indian batch will start on 27th June. Without any further ado, I hand over the spotlight to Dr. Avinash Shaoji to guide us through an discussion session on yoga and prevention and management of diabetes. Over to you, Dr. Avinash Shaoji. Welcome. Namaste.
Okay. Namaste. And thanks, TG. I'm very happy to be here. And thanks to all the members of American Academy of Yoga and Meditation, particularly with this event, which is just prior to the International Yoga Day, which is going to be celebrated on 21st of June. Related with the yoga, which are useful for the common people. So today I'm glad to be here to interact and to share my experiences and observations, particularly with regard to regarding to prevention and management of the diabetes. As all of us know that lifestyle illnesses like diabetes, high blood pressure, then coronary blockages and obesity and lot many things. So these are supposed to be the lifelong illnesses. We had been taught in medical schools that once you are a diabetic, you are diabetic for the lifetime. Once you are a hypertensive, you are hypertensive for the lifetime. You have to take medications for the lifetime to control the diabetes. So this is what the knowledge we were having and which has been, what you can say, taught in the medical schools, and that has been as a practice all over the things. So right now, that belief has been changed with the new scientific researches that is coming up all over the world. So we will be talking something about how we can reverse the diabetes, and not only for the diabetes, but all the, what you can say, the lifestyle illnesses. So I will be sharing my presentation. I will be sharing my screen with you, and I will try to explain and discuss about how we can prevent and even reverse the diabetes with simple lifestyle modifications. Okay. And many of our participants, the program which we are carrying out online in online mode, many of our participants could get rid of their medications which they used to take since years together. Okay, so there are the things which probably we can do something about that, and yes, we will be doing that. I'm just sharing my screen now. Just a minute. So, okay. So yoga for prevention and management of the diabetes. This is the today's topic of our discussion. So we are running the program in the title of Prayas Diabetes Reversal and Wellness Program, that is the DRWP. As Sriji has mentioned, the first, what you can say, breakthrough research which came up in front of the world is by Dr. Roy Taylor and the group, which has been done in UK and Scotland during year 2014 to 17, and a paper published in Lancet regarding the diabetes reversal, how it can happen. What they have done, they have selected a group of diabetic patients who are overweight, whose BMI is on higher side, and they had been offered a prescribed, what you can say, diet for say 8 to 12 weeks. A specific diet they have uh, administered to their participants, and later on gradually they were shifted doing the dieting and to the normal diet, and their observation over the period of 1 year. So they have find out that overall in the group of say 300 plus participants, 50% of the participant could reverse their diabetes. The indicator, the parameter for diabetic reversal was that change in the HbA1c. So if HbA1c is less than 5.6, then you are supposed to be non-diabetic. So that was the parameter. So at the end of 1 year, they could find out that overall the total group of the participants in the research, there was reversal in the 50% of the participants. And again, there are subgroups where they found the difference, and which is related to the amount of weight loss the participant could do. So the participants who could do weight loss for more than 15 kg, so 86% of the participant diabetes get reversed. 10 to 15 kg of weight loss, 57%, 5 to 10 kg, 34%, and less than 5 kg is the 7%. So this is the first kind of, what you can say, research regarding the diabetes reversal. So based on those experiences, we started this program since the start of the pandemic in the online mode. Before that, we used to have the residential camps at our training center in Amravati, Maharashtra. We used to have 7 days residential camps for the lifestyle illnesses, so diabetic, hypertensive, and other lifestyle illnesses So they used to come here, stay with us for 7 days. We used to organize the food and everything for them and teach them how they can reverse their illnesses, what lifestyle modifications they need to do, what kind of food they should eat. So we used to train them here. That was in a physical form, face to face mode. But since pandemic, it has been offered in an online mode. Initially, we were also not very sure that how it is going to work, because we are also new to using this technology for our activity. So we were not very sure, but now uh, the experience of last 15 months, 500 plus participants and 19 Indian and 5 US batches. So it's a 3 months online program which we offer. Total 8 to 10 sessions of 2 hours once in a week, and along with yoga training for a week, yoga practice session for a week, then personal counseling, follow up, and lifestyle guidance. So what changes we have observed that almost half of the participant could stop all their medication for diabetes. And others significantly reduce their medications. Okay. The majority of the participant could do weight loss of say around 15 to 35 pounds. In Indian batches, we could see the weight loss during 3 months, maybe to the amount of tune of say 20 kg. Most of the participants, I mean, that is the common feedback we received from almost 100% participants, is that they are having the improved physical stamina and energy level. Then the food protocol which we have prescribed, almost all the participants were able to uh, continue with that, with a tasty dishes. Lot many, what can I say, tasty dishes with recipes have been shared in the WhatsApp group created for the communication. And at many families, all the other family members are also having the same kind of food which our participants used to take. So the food protocol is directed towards the family and not to the individual. That is one of the major, what you can say, difference of this program. And almost all of them have developed confidence to carry out the lifestyle changes for a lifetime. So there is a team of doctors now, so from different background. Dr. Jivanlal Gandhi, who is just 87 years young man and having a 55 plus years of experience in the wellness field. Then Dr. Apar Savji, who is a BNYS Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences graduate and then has done his PhD in yoga. And Dr. Krishna Prasad, who is MD microbiology and very much passionate about the mind, body, spirit, and other things. So it's a very, what you can say, cohesive and complementary team. And probably because of that, we have been able to do this. Uh, I would like to share some case studies to begin with. Actually, before going to the protocol, what we are used the protocol regarding the food and other things. So this is the first case study. One of our friend from Nagpur, 51 years IT guy, running an software industry, and he had diagnosed diabetes on 18th of March. His blood sugar were 255 and 365. His HbA1c was 11.2. So we planned the lifestyle changes for him, and he started implementing that. And within a period of say 18 days, on 10th of April, his blood sugar level dropped down to 90s fasting and 120 for PP. Now, after 1 year, now we are having a 1 year follow up with him. So his fasting, which used to be 255, now it is in March 2021, it is 84. Initially 365, now 124. Weight loss 66 to 52. HbA1c from 11.2 to 6.3. Okay, with no medications. So that is the thing. Then there are few more what you can say case studies. This is a couple from Mumbai and having a very long standing diabetes. The Pradnyatai in the September A1C was 10.6. In December it dropped down to 6.8. The Prakashji is 7.5 to 6.4. Okay. Then this is another lady, a very long diabetic, uh, whose blood sugar PP was on 8th of July 305, which dropped down on 21st July. So within 13 days to 137. And on 29th July, it is 98. Here she was taking 8 tablets a day. Now only on 2 tablets. So these are some of the results from the US batches also. So one of our US batch participant who has been on continuous glucose monitoring and his blood sugar within the range 70 to 180, 96%. Okay. So that is the range which has been advised by the American Diabetic Association, that at least you should have your blood sugar in this range for 70% time, but he could have that not for 70 but 96% time. Then this is a feedback given by some of the participants that I lost about 7 pounds, and what is baffling to me is that for last 17 years I have tried so many diets, Dean Ornish, Silten and other things, and of course medication. I have never been able to get my fasting sugar around 100. Now for the last few days I am maintaining 100, 105 with no diabetic medication. Okay, so these are the results. This is another one of our Indian participant whose fasting has gone down from 147 to 86, HbA1c from 8.7 to 5.7, unbelievable. Even the vitamin D level has been increased from 10.6 to 6.5 without any supplements. Then another US participant, initially 6.5 to 5.8 now. I tried so many diets, but with this I lost 12 pounds. HbA1c is less than 2 points. My doctor was amazed. This is another one of our participants from US. My best A1C in last 10, 11 years after being diagnosed of type 2 was 5.8 with 500 milligram of metformin. But now on May 3rd, the A1C was 4.9 for the first time. And that too with metformin, very minimum dose. So these are some of the case studies. Now we will, I would like to discuss about what kind of lifestyle modification, what kind of protocol we have advised to all our participants, so that the people, the attendees of today's workshop will also get benefited by following the similar kind of guidelines. Okay, of course, this is for the educational purpose and you should do it under some, what you can say, supervision of your doctors, because diabetes is a serious, what you can say in that way, it's a serious illness and one should be very careful in modifying the things. Now, this is our father of medicine, Hippocrates. His famous quote is that let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Okay. So we say that kitchen could be your best pharmacy. You don't require any other, what you can say, toxic chemicals to take from outside. So basically for prevention and management of diabetes, these are the 4 pillars. One is of course the diet, which is a very crucial component for reversing or even the prevention of diabetes. Then second is the physical activity, the exercises. Third is definitely related with the mind, that is the stress management. And fourth is, of course, where one needs then certain medications, maybe for certain period, so that may be required. So now what are the objectives of our program which we used to carry out? Basically, I will say that the main objectives, one is to help the diabetics for adopting the proper lifestyle change so that they could manage it in a better way with no drugs or minimum drugs. Okay. So as much as possible, we try to get rid of the medications, including insulin. Another thing is that group support helps a lot. That is what our observation is. Okay. So basically, this is a part of support group kind of therapy, self-help group. That is what we can say. Third factor which help a lot of participants is the visualization. Okay, what is the difference that is going to happen when I get more control over my disease? So that kind of vivid visualization is very much important uh, for reversal. Then again, this is a journey from illness to wellness, from I to we. Okay. Again, developing mindfulness is a crucial factor. So what are the key components of the program? What are the protocol we followed and have this kind of successful, or what can say, never before in the lifetime kind of results? One is definitely regarding the dietary modifications. So we started with the dietary modification. We focused more on the dietary modification for say initial 4 to 6 weeks. Then we add the component of physical activity, yoga, meditation after say 6 weeks in the second month. And in the third month, we added the component of mind management or the stress management. And the end of the program goes towards the finding out the why of living, the purpose. So we started with the diet, what we are putting in our mouth. Then we gradually develop to what we are putting in our mind. And lastly, what for our existence is on this earth, what I want to do before the last breath of my life. So finding out that why or the purpose of life, that is again very important. Group support is a very crucial factor. So lot of sharing used to happen during the interaction, and in even on the WhatsApp group. Love and gratitude, all these positive emotions are very much important. And probably one of the add-on reason could be the intention of the organizers. So we don't have any commercial objective, as Sriji has told that the organizing agency is a not-for-profit organization, the Prayas. So we do a lot of other charitable activities also along with this program. So what are the root causes of diabetes, which we talk about and which we try to, what you can say, modify, control, or reverse? So these are the 4-5 factors which are very much interrelated one, and they are dependent on each other. For the sake of understanding, we are just trying to separate them and talk about that. First and foremost factor is the insulin resistance in the body. So insulin is available in the body, but it is not being able to open up the doors situated on the cellular walls through which the glucose can enter in the cells and can be used as a fuel. So there is some issues. The insulin receptors, they are blocked. And so in spite of having the high insulin level, it is not working and the blood sugar level goes up. Okay. So how we can curtail down the insulin resistance is one of the, what you can say, uh, rationale behind the protocol which we have suggested. So we suggested the food, the diet, which will help in reducing the insulin resistance, which will not increase the insulin resistance. So that is what we have planned. The second factor is definitely the low grade chronic inflammation, which is going on inside the body. Now, lot of things are coming up that this low grade kind of inflammation, actually inflammation is a part of our defense system, and that is very much important to fight out the external enemies. Okay, but sometimes what happen, there is a, what you can say, our defense system or the immune system, there is a hyper response or the altered response. That is what we can say. If the inflammation is for longer period, and if the fight is not against the extrinsic enemy, but sometimes it happens that our defense system starts acting and fighting with our own cells, and then the problem starts. So lot of autoimmune diseases, including the arthritis and type 1 diabetes and even the thyroid issue and lot many things, now they are related with this inflammation. So there are the food which flare up the inflammation, and there are the food items which can cool down the inflammation. So we plan the diet in such a way that it will cool down the inflammatory process which is going on inside, so that the body, uh, I mean, can heal up its on its own way. Third very much important factor, and nowadays gradually gaining importance, is the altered gut flora. There are a lot of bacteria and other germs situated everywhere inside and outside of our body, and almost most of them are useful. They are living and having the symbiotic relationship with our own self. Now it has been said that we are having 10 times more cells than the human cells we are having. Okay, and without those germs our existence is just impossible. Okay, so because of our faulty lifestyle, faulty food habits and other things, the original gut flora which was beneficial and which was very much essential for us, probably that get changed, and the lot of, what you can say, harmful germs colonize in our intestine and other things because of the faulty habits. And once we started acting upon the faulty habits and we changed those habits, we change the food, then gradually probably the gut flora get changed. And it, of course, it takes time, years together happened for happening this kind of harmful change. So definitely it is going to take time. But once that gut flora get reinstated, then lot many things, lot many functions of our body can be taken over by the gut flora. I mean, all these things are now coming up in the research. This is a very big area where a lot of research is to be put on right now. But there are definitely indicators that now our gut is known as our second brain. We normally in our discussion, we used to talk about, yeah, this is my gut feeling. So that is what I am feeling. Now it has been said that nearly half of the neurotransmitters, which are very much essential for the functioning, proper functioning of our brain, they are synthesized by this gut flora. Okay. So if the gut flora get again reinstated in its original form, and that is very much related with what we are putting in inside. So if we can change those faulty things and do the proper eating habits, then the gut flora will get changed gradually, and lot of things again get reversed. Of course, fourth factor is the wrong lifestyle. That is the too much of processed food, lack of physical activities, and the stress. These are the fundamental reasons, again, influencing the insulin resistance, inflammation, and gut flora. And of course, the last one is the absence of mindfulness. Now there are a lot of things which are coming up in the with regard to mindfulness, particularly when we talk about the yoga. Our assumptions mostly relate with doing some stretching exercises, that is the postures, yoga postures, some kind of breathing techniques, pranayama, and to some extent meditation. Okay, But as Patanjali has told, there are 8 dimensions of yoga. Even before the yoga posture, physical part of yoga, there are yama and niyama, which many of us just ignore those. And we straightway land and start practicing yoga in the form of physical postures only. But that is not the complete yoga. We need to add the yama niyama along with the physical postures. And of course, after the pranayama comes the pratyahara. I mean, withdrawal of your senses, so that train your senses not to get attached to something, okay, which can lead to the level of addiction. So that pratyahara we need to practice, and for that mindfulness is a very important practice we need to develop. Now, for the sake of understanding how much reversal, at what stage our diabetes reversal is happening, it is not a one point, what you can say, activity. It's a linear process. It can go up or it can go down also. So first stage is that blood sugar level drops down, but the medications are still in the similar dosage. Second dose is blood sugar level drops down and medications also get reduced or completely stopped. So our most of the participant definitely reach to the stage 2, almost all. Even some participant reached to the stage 3. Medicine completely stopped. A1C is still around or more than 6. Even some of our participant has reached to the stage 4. Medicines completely stopped and A1C is less than 6. But the final stage of reversal that we can say that our body is being able to deal with the load of glucose. That is when medicines completely stopped and when you pass the glucose tolerance test. 75 gram of glucose is ingested with a glass full of water and still your blood sugar level doesn't rise up. If that stage come, then only we can say that the real reversal can happen. Of course, from stage 5, you can again drop down to stage 4, 3, 2, or even 1. So we need to carry out certain healthy habits for the lifetime. It is not like that everything will get reversed and then you can do anything and still you will become the diabetes free. It is not like that. So there are some fundamental principles which we focus more about. I mean, in most of the diet plan, it is said that what food items you should eat and what not. But our focus is more on how to eat, the way we are eating. Okay, that is much more important than what we are eating. Even the, what you can say, the harmful things which one should not eat, even if you are going to have the incidence of eating those things, if you can follow these basic principles of nature, then probably it will not harm too much. So what are these basic fundamental principles? Eat only when you are hungry. Okay, we eat at as per our, not as per our hunger. So our body is full of sensors, so try to follow those natural sensors. Don't open your mouth more than 4 times a day for eating or drinking purpose. Even the tea coffee should be counted in that. So opening mouth not for more than 4 times a day. Then chew 32 times before swallowing. This is a very important factor. Some of our participants could uh, get lot of benefit by just following this one single principle also. So it's a very powerful principle. It's a traditional wisdom also. Our ancestors used to say this कि 32 बार चबा के खाना है. So there is a science behind all those things. Then we advocate the 80-20 principle. It means that grains should be 20% only. The vegetables, salads, and fruits should be 80% in our thali. So 1:4 ratio. 1 part grain, 4 parts of vegetables, veggies, salads, and fruits. Then we advocate 1 grain at a time for the reversal purpose. It is required to, what you can say, uh, help body to healing. So we try to reduce the load on our digestive system and as well as on the pancreas also. Then we advocate that try to follow the ideal timings as per our biological clock. So eating around 10 in the morning and 6 in the evening, those are the ideal timing. So try to be reach out close to the ideal timing of eating. Avoid eating red listed food items. So we make three list food items. So green list, then orange list and red listed item. So I will be coming over to that. And eat with mindfulness. Processing lowers the nutritive value of food. This is the fundamental principle of nutrition science. So eat minimum processed food items. Then fix up the timing and place for eating. Avoid eating at your workplace or the bedroom or anywhere. Okay. So these are the fundamental things which we need to follow for the lifetime, definitely. Then the principle of moderation. Whatever you are eating, keep it in a moderation. Anything in excess is going to be a toxic. Okay. Now there are the macronutrients and the micronutrients. So we restrict the intake of all the three macronutrients. So carbohydrate, proteins, and fats. Okay, because they can be taken over, their function can be taken over within the body. But we focus more on the micronutrients. So vitamins, mineral, antioxidants, and enzymes. Our body requires all these things in a very small or minute quantity, but they are very much important. And all those are situated in the natural colors of fruits and vegetables. So our thali should be colorful. I mean, that's very simple to follow the principles of balanced diet. That is what we can say. So it will take care of all the nutrients. Then this kind of prepare your own green, orange, and red listed atom. So I will just elaborate a little bit. Green listed atoms are the all fruits. Okay. We have observed that lot of diabetics have been advised not to eat any fruits. Okay. And they are away from the fruits since years together. With the start of our program, now they are eating fruits without any fear of increasing their blood sugar level. And of course, fruits are very easy to digest, and in long way they are going to cool down the inflammatory process and insulin resistance also. Then the vegetables, salads, all spices, herbal green tea, millets, brown rice, homemade smoothies and soups and juices. Then orange listed items, so temporary restriction, all oil seed. We restrict all oil seeds, all nuts, all pulses and sprouts. Okay. So there is inevitable question from query from most of the participants that we are not eating any proteins. So what it will, is it going to affect our muscles? Do we will be losing our muscles? But with the observation of last 500 plus participants, we have seen that not a single participant had reported that he has less physical stamina or energy, because the first symptom of muscle loss, any muscle loss, will be definitely on the physical energy level. But almost most of the participant reported that they are having uh, on the contrary higher physical energy and all those things. So the protein requirement which has been taught in medical schools and which has been advocated by most of the doctors right now also, probably that needs to be challenged. So more research is to be, more work is to be done definitely, but that is what our observation is. Then the red listed food items of course contain the all the dairy, poultry, non-veg, all the animal products, then the bakery, all the cooking oils and butter, ghee, sugar, all fried food, artificial sweeteners, and all processed food items, definitely. So initially, most of participants feel that it is a very restrictive kind of food, and how we are going to do with that. But that understanding just get totally converted within a span of say 1 or 2 weeks. And now our participants have discovered lot many tasty dishes which almost all of us have never tried before in our lifetime. okay, which totally fit in this protocol. And they are tasty. We need not compromise with the taste, definitely. Taste is a very important factor. And so these are the few basic principles. Again, eat only when you are hungry, then eat grains twice a day only. If you in between you want, you can have some fruits or salads and soups. Chew 32 times. Then satisfy your tongue and tummy. Tongue, our taste bud are situated on the tongue. So keep any, what you can say, any food atom in a small quantity in on tongue for more time. So chewing 32 times, keeping the food atom more time on the tongue, that will satisfy your taste buds, that will satisfy your satiety center in the brain. And for the tummy, because tummy don't have any taste bud. I mean, taste buds are situated only on the tongue, nowhere else in the body they are there. So tummy is the volume sensitive. So put volume in the tummy in the form of say salads, veggies and other things. So it doesn't have any taste bud. So you can satisfy both. Then principle of moderation. Anything in excess is toxic. So follow the principle of moderation while eating any food item so that it should not harm you. Even after the reversal also, try to follow this principle. And whenever there is, you are going to have some deviation, some wrong foods, eating some wrong foods. Okay, suppose you are eating ice cream or some sweet dish or something like that, which is not advocated, then try to see that you compensate it in your next meal by having say only fruits or only salads or something like that. So you will, nothing will be missed out from your life. You can enjoy every single food item without the fear of increasing your blood sugar level or the cholesterol or the blood pressure and other things. Okay. This is again the principle which we talked about, that 80% of the food in the thali should be vegetable and fruits and 20% only grains. What to eat? Okay. So these are the some basic principles: seasonal food, regional food, least processed food, balanced diet, vegetarian food, and the sattvic food. Okay. So these are the basic principles of food atom. Each time you eat something, either it leads to the disease or it leads to the healing. On the left side, the food items, the pizza, burger, and other things, they will definitely lead, either you are feeding disease or you are fighting it. Okay. Then these are the risk factor for the diabetes, which probably we need to manage. One is the family history, genetic part. Only thing is that we should not forget that even if we are having the family history, we are having the hereditary factor, the genes needs to get expressed before the, what you can say, frank conversion in the disease, any gene. And it all depends on how, what kind of atmosphere you are providing to those genes, whether they get expressed or they will get lost about it. Okay, so if you are providing the negative atmosphere so that the genes cannot germinate, they cannot get expressed, even if it is in your family history, even if it is in hereditary, you will be protected from the diabetes. So by providing the negative atmosphere for the expression of the diabetic gene, it means that the same thing which we were talking about right now. So keep that kind of healthy lifestyle and your lifestyle, your diabetic gene will probably will not get expressed. Then the lack of exercise. Okay, so we know that whatever we are not using, that is going to get decayed. So use your muscles and joints. Okay, that is a very important part. Then unhealthy eating. So stop the unhealthy eating habits, replace it with healthy eating habits since the childhood. If you are overweight, curtail down your weight loss is not a big deal actually, if you follow some basic fundamental principles. So by doing that, you can get protected from lot many illnesses, including some of the cancers also. Now, what happened? Glucose is stored in our, it is in the blood, 5 to 6 gram of glucose in the blood. Around 100 gram glucose is stored in the liver and 500 gram in the muscles. And it all depends on what we are eating. If our diet is having too much of carbohydrate, okay, and our intestine is having full of, say, sugar, then of course the blood sugar will go up. So body try to store it in the liver or in the muscles. So we need to strengthen our muscles to have more blood sugar to be stored, and so that our blood sugar will remain within the control. Okay. Uh, Regarding the body weight, again, our most of us are overweight. Okay. The weight is increased by two kind of things. One is called as the lean body mass. When your bone density is high, your muscle mass is high, then it is a healthy. If you are doing exercises or workout, then only it is possible. But with most cases, our obesity or our overweight, being overweight, is related with the fat deposition around the abdomen and other parts of the body, and even in the organs, in the liver and other things also. Okay, and that is unhealthy. And this is mainly because of the wrong eating habits. Okay, so we need to increase the lean body mass. We need to curtail down the fat weight of our body. So that is the important principle. Then there are complications of diabetes for which we need to take care of that. That is on the kidneys, on the nerves, and even the retina, eye. If we can control our A1C, lot of, say, complications we can avoid. Okay, so if we can keep our A1C less than 7, that is the best part. If it is less than 6, then nothing like that. But as it goes up 8, 9, 10, 11, the risk for the retinopathy, nephropathy, and neuropathy, everything goes up. Okay, so it is very much important to keep the HbA1c within the normal range. So non-diabetic or pre-diabetic at the most range. So that is important. The uniqueness of this program is that we are not just what I can say, dealing with controlling the blood sugar levels, but we are working on the root causes by which the blood sugar is more. So that is the insulin resistance or the beta cell dysfunction or the inflammation. So all the protocol is working on these basic root causes. And once those get corrected, then automatically blood sugar definitely is going to get corrected. So I had talked about the inflammation already. If it is short acting, then it's good, but it is long acting, then definitely it is not good. Okay. And lot of dietary factors, even the excess fat cells in our body, that also leads to chronic subacute inflammation. Okay. Inflammation triggering foods. There are many foods known for triggering the inflammation. One is, of course, the dairy products. So particularly we Indians are very much, what I can say, attached to the milk, cow milk and other things. Also, the curd, even the South Indian people are very much fond of the using the buttermilk or the curd. Particularly for the diabetics, so milk and the dairy product could be one of the factors. So we need to cut down and be vegan. Not only vegetarian will not be enough for the reversal purpose, definitely. Even the high protein content, particularly from the animal sources, because all the proteins are known for causing the antigenicity and antibody effect. So we try to cut down the even excess proteins also. Okay. So this program is basically not only useful for the diabetes, but the many other conditions, health condition, which is known for having the root cause of this chronic subacute, acute inflammation. So that PCOD, hypertension, heart blockages, even the psychological conditions like depression, anxiety, phobia. Because I was just sharing before that lot of neurotransmitters are synthesized by gut flora. So if we can change our diet, we start eating healthy diet, our gut flora get changed, and probably the imbalance of the neurotransmitter, which is causing the psychological or the psychiatric conditions, probably that also can. Uh, I mean, this is possible. I mean, I don't say that we have those kind of observations with regard to psychological conditions, but whatever we have seen that the positivity in our participants has, the positivity level has definitely been more than before. Okay. Even the IBS, IBD, ulcerative colitis, and digestive issues that we have observed in lot many cases. Even for the first week itself, lot many people get rid of their acidity problem, long-standing acidity problem, and the other digestive problems also with the same diet. Even the rheumatoid arthritis and autoimmune disorders, to some extent, definitely this kind of diet and lifestyle is going to help. Otherwise, also there is nothing. The only risk of this program is could be the risk of hypoglycemia, that is blood sugar level dropping down, because with the lifestyle changes we have seen that many participants have to readjust their medications, say on the second or third day of start of the dietary modification. Now your diet has taken up the role of your metformin or the anti-diabetic drugs. So if you are on any medications for diabetes and you started the dietary modification, so there will be double dose of same medication, and that can be disastrous. Okay. So it is very much important that you do this kind of modification under some guidance, under the observation of the doctor. That is very much important. So we suggest all our participants to regularly monitor their blood sugar level and report to their own doctors and take advice as according to their blood sugar levels. That is very much important, particularly in the initial phases. Okay. Uh, the second part, this is all about the food. So we can say that food is the most important factor. The another factor is definitely the exercise. Okay. So we will be just talking about few things about the other factors also. So basically there are four kinds of physical activity. One is the aerobic exercise, cardio. Another is the flexibility, that is the yoga. Then the strengthening exercise, weight training is also important, and endurance. So aerobic exercise is done with oxygen. Anaerobic or resistance activity or the weight training, that is also important, at least 2-3 times in a week. Then stretching, yoga. So I don't need, I believe that I don't need to talk about the yoga. Almost all of us are now aware regarding the various yoga postures and the pranayama. Then of course the endurance activity, walking, cycling, swimming kind of thing. So this is the exercise part. And third part is the mental health. This is also very much important and is taken, is considered to be one of the most important part. What we are putting in mouth, more important is that what we are putting in our mind. So any criticism, lack of confidence, negativity, stress, all these will increase your diabetes and blood sugar level. Okay. So we need to work on the stress management. So we used to have complete, I say around 3 sessions with the mind management and the purpose. Okay, how we can do that. So a lot of things are there which we can do. This mindful is very much important for the stress management or the mind management. Our mind is full of sub materialistic things, so we don't have time to see what is going on in the present. Okay, so we don't become happy. We need something big to become happy. We just forget that sunrise, sunset colors, or the nature, or the flowing river, or the water, or the songs of the singing of the birds. All these things can make us happy. But as our mind is full of materialistic things, we just ignore those. So we need to be not mindful with lot many things, but we need to be mindful. whatever we are doing, try to keep your mind. So that is the pratyahara. We need to practice pratyahara. That is very much important. And probably that is one of the most important key factor for the reversal. That is what I can say. Even the yogasana and pranayam, it is definitely useful, but much more helpful probably could be the mindfulness, developing mindfulness. And that can be developed if you are having the base of, say, physical stability and the control over your breath. So that is by practicing regular yogasana and of course the pranayama. Both things are very much important. Uh, then ultimately we will just sum up the things. Okay, we need to work upon the food. We need to increase our physical activity level. We need to get rid of bad habits. Even we have observed that many of our participants are addicted to tea, and it was very hard for them to accept that they can get rid of tea, the habit having years together. I mean, even for a single day, if they don't get tea, headache starts. Okay, but we suggested them that uh, you are addicted to the caffeine and you need to do the de-addiction. The symptoms you are having like headache and something like that, that is the withdrawal symptom. So you can just if you can sustain for 3 days, consecutive days without tea, then all those withdrawal symptoms will get subside totally. Okay, and you will get free from the addiction of the caffeine. And this happens with lot many participants. Okay, even some of our participants could get rid from the alcohol too. Okay, so I mean, it is not like that ki only food and physical activity, but it is a integrated and holistic approach probably, which works a lot. Okay, and of course the stress management, that is very much important. So in our Zoom call meetings, so most of the participants share their facts about the health, how they are progressing. Even there, some of the participants are sharing their some issues which are pressing their minds or something like that. So there is a very, what can I say, trust level is quite good in the groups. And probably that is one of the reason why people don't feel embarrassing in sharing their own facts and figures. When we started the first US batch, we were also a little bit skeptical that how we will be, how much we will be successful in opening up the participants, because this, unless the sharing happens, it is not going to help. So basically it is the peer group, the support and the motivation from other group members, that is one of the key factor for such a kind of, say, wonderful or never before lifetime kind of outcome. Maybe it could be with the blood sugar or other things also. Then lastly, two things I will be talking about. We always want to be very rich, but only limitation is that we want to be rich in terms of dollars only. In So we want to be wealthier only in terms of currency. Whether we have asked that how rich I am in terms of relationships. Okay, make a list of people today who will have tears in their eyes for your pain. So that is what my kamai, my income of last so many years of my life, and how many lives have I influenced or I touched during my lifetime. So just put their names. Probably, I mean, most of us, the list may not go more than 2-digit number. So this is the only income which we have earned. This is the only assets probably we have created in our life. We are going to get our life for one time only. So we should not just, what you can say, waste our life in just going more behind the currency, ignoring the other facets of life. So human connection is one of the major factor which we need to develop. We need to uh, lift up ourselves from this poverty of relationship. So we need to be rich. So ultimately, this could be a homework for each of you. There are 5 questions we put, and you just try to find out the answers. Try to do this exercise in a very serious manner, and you will see that probably not only your diabetes, but your life also start getting changed. Today only we had the last session in the morning, in the night in US, having the last session of our 4th US batch. And one of our participant comment is that it is not the lifestyle change program, this is the life changing program. Okay. So the five last questions you need to answer. What are the things you want to do but you can't? Okay. You really want to do, you aspire to do it, you become happy of doing that thing, but you are not being able to do right now. Just make a list of those things. Then another question is, what are the things that you do not want to do, but you have to do by majburi, not by choice? Okay, that is definitely not going to increase your happiness. That is going to increase your stress. So try to figure out those things. Okay, then third thing is that make a list of things you will be doing in the last 1 week of your life. Suppose you are having your last week in your hand, and what are the things you are going to do in that last week? Probably those are the most important things which we need to make the priority for all those things. So we are just entangled in the trivials. We need to get out of that. Then try to make a list of gratitude every day. So I am having so many things. We have been entangled in our very small or the trivial problems. We are just having the what can say, little more weight by few pounds or few kgs. We are just having diabetes for which we need to take some medications. But really we have not encountered any bigger problem than that. Probably because of that we feel that our problem is so big. So the best solution for any problem is to create a larger problem than existing one and start fighting out that. So this is what I practiced all during my lifetime, and probably that is why I feel very, what I can say, contented, and I really enjoy living. And of course the last one is that why diabetes should be reversed in your life. How will it make a difference? Clarity about that will help you to achieve that. Okay. So what is the difference that is going to happen with all these things? So that you should ask yourself. And these are my contact details. So I'm really happy, and probably I am in time. So we have finished the basic fundamental principles. I try to give you some, what I can say, take home messages. Try to do it under some observation. That will be the best part. If you want our guidance and you want to do under some observation, then probably you can join uh, our batches, US batches. We are having, say, every 2 months or something like that, and Indian batches which are in Hindi, Marathi mix, so which usually on a monthly basis. So I again thank to American Academy of Yoga and Meditation for providing this opportunity to interact with you all. So I really feel very much humbled, and I express my gratitude to all of you. Namaskar. We can deal with, if there are some questions, definitely I will be happy to answer any queries or something like that. Yes, over to Sriji.
Thank you, Dr. Saoji. It was excellent. I think everybody learned a lot. Viewers, you can start putting your questions in the chat, and Dr. Saoji will answer our questions. By meantime, I have one question. Generally, up to we get more questions. Generally, people say, especially from around the world or even India also, we say that if we are not drinking milk or any protein like dal, especially lentils, we don't get protein. So how we can answer to that question? Where we are getting protein from?
Okay, I mean the food items are not, what I can say, it is not like that ki, only dal or the pulses are having the protein. Okay, even the grains do have the protein. Even the millets, jawar and wheat and everything, jawar and all what you can say, all the grains, carbohydrate, so-called carbohydrate food, is having around say 6 to 10% of proteins. Okay, even all the vegetable and fruits also do have protein content in itself. For the sake of understanding, we have make these divisions actually. Even the pulses, we call it as a protein food. They are having 60%, more than 60% of the carbs. Okay, so it is not like that ki these are completely protein or the something carbohydrate or the fat food. It is a combination of food. Okay, so that is more important, I think. Uh, so it will take care of your protein requirement. And again, I was, sharing that that is our observation. Okay, so it is open for more work, more research, more study, that protein requirement 1 gram per kg of body weight per day. That is what we taught in the medical schools right now. How correct it is, that needs to be reconsidered, I believe. I mean, with in the light of our experience of last 500 participants. Okay, so that probably we need to talk about.
Thank you for that, Dr. Sauji. Our next question is, what
I
is the
think there are
normal? Go ahead.
Yes, yes, you can ask.
What is the
Yes, Teji.
normal range of diabetes nowadays?
Diabetes range means what about, you are asking about the blood sugar levels or whatever?
Abhay Sinha, Mr. Sinha has asked, what is the normal range of diabetes nowadays? So definitely blood sugar level, he must be
Blood
thinking.
sugar level. Okay. I mean, we say that don't get too much entangled with the numbers. Okay. So that is very much different. Suppose if the blood sugar level, I mean, that has been always been a part of discussion in the medical, what can say, in the medical field, that whether your blood sugar should be 120 or 115 or 110. So with the blood sugar, so 80 to 20, it is always a range. It is not 1 point program or 1 point figure. That is what we can say. So your fasting should be less than 100 will be okay, and post meal less than 140 should be the ideal range. For the diabetics, it should be little on higher side, then also it is okay. So less than 100 fasting and less than 140 pp should be the target. That is what we can say.
Thank you. Our next question from Smita ji. She says, if you are on borderline and she's not taking any medication, can I get in this program to reverse it?
Sure, definitely it is possible. I mean, for the pre-diabetics, so HbA1c from 5.6 to 6.4. So a lot of our participants are from that range also. So they are having a risk of going to be losing the control over the blood sugar over the period. So it is better to start journey early. One more point probably I need to add here, which I've forgotten, that this program is definitely important for the diabetics, for the adults, but it is much more important for our kids, for the children in our homes, because they are likely to have the risk of developing diabetes and other lifestyle illnesses at an earlier age. So if we can become the role model with regarding the healthy lifestyle for our children, then probably nothing will be like that. And that is one of the major benefit probably, or the byproduct of our program. That is what I can say. Yes, it is there.
Thank you.
So definitely pre-diabetic, even some people for the sake of being overweight, they also joined.
Definitely.
Yes, if anything, there are a lot of
question.
questions. I think if someone can read out, then it will be more easier for me probably to answer.
Yes. So next one is, how
Yes.
can one take the millet, and are all millets good? About the millet.
Yes. Yes, yes, there are different kind of millets, and definitely you can have different kind of millets. No need to go on any one. I mean, there is nothing like that. This one single food item is the best part. Okay, so there are different components, different nutrients in each and every food atom. So try to be have different variety of, what you can say, biodiversity should be the principle. Okay, but for the reversal purpose we stick to the one grain at a time only, but you can have different grains definitely.
Okay, thank you.
That will be better.
People are saying protein is most needed thing for our body. What would to say, sir, to the people who take protein shakes twice a day?
Okay, I think, I mean, in my opinion, that is not at all required. Okay, so particularly any kind of processed food, because our body intelligence, it can absorb the required amount of nutrients from the natural food only, but from the, what you can say, processed food, probably our body intelligence will not work in that way, and probably there could be a more proteins. If there are more proteins in the body, that is also going to cause lot many issues. Okay, and if there is no muscle loss, if your energy level is okay, because now in the adulthood the proteins are required only for the, say, repair and replacement. While replacing the things, the original proteins get converted into amino acids and they are reused as a building blocks. So our requirement, protein requirement, once the growth is over, is very less actually. So that uh, I mean, I'm not what I can say, a researcher in that way. I'm a teacher definitely, and a motivator. So researchers should go deeper into that scene and find out what exactly the things about the protein. But in our program we have so-called protein restricted diet. We have not seen any ill effect, rather we have seen the beneficial part of it.
Definitely. Thank you. How
Yes.
to maintain good gut microbiome? Does probiotics help?
Yes, definitely. But I mean, if you can, we can have the natural foods more on the veggies and the fruits. That will take care of your microbiome. Okay, so that will be definitely helpful. No issue about all those things.
Thank you. What are the inflammatory foods? Should we avoid it?
Uh, One is, I mean, all the red listed atom, all the animal proteins, which increases the inflammation. Okay, so even the dairy products, all the milk and milk products. Okay, that is another thing. All the processed food, so bakery items and too much of fried and too much of processed kind of food. So all those foods definitely going to increase your underground, what you can say, the inflammatory process. And
Thank you
yes,
for that. Dr. Sauji, you suggested to open mouth for 4 times, 2 hour for eating.
yes.
What about other two?
Okay, okay. It is not like that you need to open 4 times a day. Okay, if you can manage it twice, it's fine. But if you can't manage it, then there are 2 more times you can have. Okay, you can have fruits or smoothies or soups or something like that if you feel hungry. Particularly when you start the lifestyle modifications, okay, the food habits are going to be changed. So there may be some craving for a few days. So for those, definitely you can have that much allowance, more allowance, but it is not at all required 4 times a day. 2 times is also enough. Now I'm practicing eating twice a day only since last 3 years without any issue. Okay.
That's wonderful to know. Um, Other question is, can I do yoga having 3 hours empty stomach?
Yes, definitely. After food, 3 hours. Before food you can do, I mean, no issue. You can practice yoga and then you can have your food, say, after a gap of 30 minutes or so. But yoga is not to be done after, immediately after the food. Any kind of exercise, actually, in fact, you should not practice after the food.
Our next question is, if we completely avoid milk and dairy products, what is the alternative for calcium?
Okay, okay. Actually, a lot of calcium is situated in green leaves. Okay, so the drumstick leaves are there. Even the, what you can say, that uh, other leaves also, which we use in kadi patta, that is what we call it in English. I'm just
Curry
not
leaves.
remembering that.
Curry leaves.
Yes, curry leaves are there. Lot of calcium is there. Okay, in all these things. Even the millets, the bajra and the nachni, they are having lot of calcium actually. So no need to rely on the uh, what you can say, milk for the sake of calcium.
Our next question is, what are the vegetables to be avoided?
uh, it has to be customized on the individual basis only. As such, I mean, you can eat whatever is eatable. Okay, no issue about that. Only thing that there could be some individual limitations or something like that. So that one need to customize it and experiment with. Otherwise, there is no need to avoid any kind of vegetable actually.
Thank you. Our next question is from Ravi Shankarji. He's asking, I was a pre-diabetic before.
Okay.
I got COVID. Post that, my BP and sugar level have shot up. I have been on medication for BP, sugar, and cholesterol for the past 1 month. What is the road ahead for me?
Oh, definitely. I mean, lot of people post-COVID, during the COVID, they are suffering from a very high level of blood sugar, even the 400, 500, 600 blood sugar level. Because of the, say, COVID virus is one of the, uh, what happens in the COVID that it flares up the inflammatory response. Okay. Hyperimmune response, that is cytokine storm, that is the major cause for death or the lung damage and everything. So to suppress that, usually steroids are given, and steroids are known for causing the diabetes. They increase your blood sugar level. So the COVID virus inflammatory process itself plus steroid added by the steroid. So once that processes get settled down, gradually the blood sugar level will go down. But if you can follow the similar kind of lifestyle modification, then probably it will help more to get rid of your medications which get started after COVID. So there are some participants in our groups also who are having post-COVID diabetes, or what you can say, little bit uncontrolled diabetes post-COVID. So it is possible with the similar kind of lifestyle.
Thank you. Our next question is, after 40, can we eat dairy products if we are healthy?
Okay, I mean, if you are not having any issue, then it's okay. If your body is being able to deal with milk, okay, you need not worry about that. Okay, it is not like that ki milk is the culprit for every single individual. Okay, definitely it is known for causing lot many illnesses, but you are perfectly healthy and you are being able to deal with the milk without any problem, then you can definitely go with that. No issue about.
Thank you. Our next question is, if patient is having frozen shoulder, inflammation in foot, and fluctuation in energy level, what should be suggested to the patient?
Okay, again, the frozen shoulder is again the part that you are, what you can say, the shoulder gets stiffened. Okay. The muscles and the ligaments around the shoulder and your shoulder movements are restricted. You can't just lift your hand above. So this is again the same inflammatory process is going on there, the stiffness. Along with that stiffness, muscular stiffness is related with your mind also. So relaxing your mind by practicing the yoga practices and other things, and along with the physical activities, exercise, physiotherapy, and of course the dietary modification. Dietary modification works in almost lot many conditions, surely.
Thank you. whether drinking water is also included in opening your mouth 4 times a day?
Okay, not necessarily actually. I mean, just go as per your body demands. If you feel hungry 4 times, it just for the sake of understanding only. If you are listening to your body, okay, that is again the practicing mindfulness. So you just go as per your body intelligence. If your body demands something, you eat something. Only thing is that you need to differentiate between whether it is demand by the body or whether it is demand by the mind. Most of the time, it is demand by the mind and not by the body. The same thing could be applied to the water. So just we need not quantify the things actually if we are mindful.
Our next question is, coconut is beneficial or useful in lowering our sugar level?
Uh, Again, we in our protocol we say that you can use tender coconut in moderation, not the dried one right now. Okay. So anything which is good, but anything in excess can be harmful. We right now we don't know. So it is better to follow the principle of moderation and the diversity.
So dry coconut you just mentioned. So does dry coconut has sugar level? I mean, sugar higher sugar? Why
No,
we say
basically it contains the what you can say more oil content is there. Okay.
okay?
So we are curtailing the fat intake also, because if there is more fat in the body, it is going to flare up the inflammation. Okay. Already there is a fat deposition and we are adding more fats
Yeah,
in the mouth. So it is going to make little higher
difference.
side.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Whether homeopathy medicines are good for diabetes?
No, I don't know about that because I don't have any knowledge about the homeopathy. So I can't comment about that.
Uh, our next question is, among those two diabetes, which one is which one is early effective by yoga practices?
Two diabetes, type 1 and type 2.
Type
Type
2.
1, all we are talking about is about the type 2 only. Okay. Type 1 is a different part that requires insulin because the insulin is deficient. Of course, it is again the autoimmune disorder. That is what they say. So type 1 reversal is may not be possible in all the cases, but definitely there could be a less requirement of insulin is possible with type 1. Type 2 is definitely reversible. That is possible, 100%.
Thank you. How to get 32 chews? Bite, can that be done for semi-solid and liquid foods?
Yes, yes, for the liquid. So that's what we say that you you chew the solids and drink the solids. It means that whenever you are drinking the water, try to, I mean, have a movement of water or the liquids within your mouth. Keep contact with the taste bud for as much time as possible and then only swallow it. So
Sure. Thank you. Uh, soya milk and almond milk be a substitute instead of dairy?
surely plant-based milk will be more preferable, definitely. Okay. But that too, once you have some reversal, okay, if your other parameters are okay, then definitely it is for the lifetime, it is always better to go for the almond milk. I will prefer almond milk than the soya one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Our next question is fried peanuts good for diabetes?
Okay. Not unless they have the control. They are get when they once they get rid of all medications and their blood sugar levels are normal, then probably you can try all these things. Okay. No issue.
Our next question is, neem leaves tea can reverse the diabetes?
No, I don't. I can't comment about that because I have not gone. Uh, I have not seen any such kind of research. They say in Ayurveda that neem leaves are useful. They may be useful, but I don't know about it actually. Only thing is that one should not forget that again we are trying to switch over to some or the other medications rather than focusing on the lifestyle modification. So our focus is that you need to focus on lifestyle modification rather than relying on this medication or that medication or herbal or something like that. That may be helpful. We don't say no, but the lifestyle changes is the most important factor probably.
Can this lifestyle help cure skin disorders like eczema?
Yes, again the psoriasis, eczema, all these things are again the what you can say altered immune response. So again, it is helpful. All these kind of food items, definitely that can cool down. We don't know how much it is going to affect because we don't have the parameters to see. Okay, but there are few participants who are suffering from SLE in our groups, and they found that it helped them to some extent. Okay, they are very difficult to get rid of. Definitely, it is not that much easy like diabetes and hypertension.
Our next question is, can you please provide list of whole grains to be taken? Can we take soaked raw wheat grains?
Yes, I mean, all the grains are okay. For wheat only we are concerned about the gluten content. Okay. Otherwise, wheat is also okay. No issue about that. If the gluten-free wheat is there, then no issue about the wheat also. All millets you can have. I mean, there is a long list of millets available in US particularly. You are having lot of, actually, we learned lot of millets from the participants itself. Okay. So jawar, bajra, and other things, quinoa, and lot of other things are there. Okay, so you can try that.
I have so many comments thanking you, so many comments appreciating wonderful lecture and giving a lot of knowledge about how to cure with simple changes. I will, if we have many questions, is it possible we can contact you through?
Surely.
Okay.
On the mail or the WhatsApp, definitely I can be available. No issue.
Sure. I now thank you, Dr. Avinash Raoji, for that enlightening session on prevention and management of diabetes. You taught us so much today. I think we all learned that disease like diabetes and hypertension can be reversed and cured with yoga and change in lifestyle. It is very surprising to know that simply changing our dietary habits can have such a big impact on our health. The part that I loved the most is that your organization, Prayash, does not even care about money. All you care about is helping the world. That is such a noble thing, especially when today's world is always running behind the money. To our viewers, we really thank you for attending this session. I think you all learned from Dr. Saoji a lot today. And definitely you can contact him. You can go to his website like he mentioned. And please check also our webinars on AYM for more informative webinars and workshops that are being hosted throughout the month in June. I would also like to thank you, our tech team, Ritesh ji, Anjali ji, Raghu ji, without whom this webinar would not have been possible. And I really want to say thank you to Dr. Saoji and our viewers once again. Dr. Saoji, I think really viewers appreciate it. In chat, it is like everybody is saying that they learned a lot, different things about the protein, about the how many times to eat, chewing habits, and you saw also that 4 times why to open mouth only for 4 times. So I really appreciate your time, your guidance, and really we all learned a lot. Thank you so much, and namaste.
And yes.
Dr. Saoji, would you like to say something? You were saying something.
No, I just want to express my gratitude to the team and the viewers. So this is my privilege to be with all you, and my agenda of life is to help others. So if you find it useful, my agenda get fulfilled. So you have given me this opportunity. So thanks for that. Yes.
We really appreciate, and what you are doing is really noble work. And honestly, many people have taken advantage of it, and they will in future also. So
Sure,
thank
sure.
you so much. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you.
Yes.
Namaste.
Namaste.